Hello, welcome to the video. My name is Jinshi Li, and today I'll be presenting our group project. Our group has been working on a multiplayer mobile game application, and the application name is Werewolf Helper. In this video, I'll be going through some general points regarding our application, which includes the characters in the game, and the game setup and the game rules, and also why we need to create an app for this game. Basically, the motivation behind the application. And also, I'll be step through the setting up the game server and also an application demonstration, which includes a scenario of gameplay. And also, a report will be included in the project. This report includes technical considerations and challenges during the game development and etc. So first, let's talk about the game rules and the characters involved in the game. So rules are probably gonna be hard to understand, but I'll do my best to try to explain through the presentation and the application demonstration. So the game requires a group of people gathering around. So it's an in-person game, and usually it's 10 to 12, 10 to 20 people, and then you can start a game. So each person is assigned a role when the game starts, and you only know your own role. But the exception is the werewolves will know their teammates after the first round. So based on the roles, the whole group will be divided into two camps. The first camp is werewolf camp, and the second camp is the villager and seer camp. So the game rules are each round, all players need to close their eyes, and then all werewolves open their eyes and choose a target to kill, and then they close eyes. So the target could be a villager or it could be a seer. After the werewolves has killed a target, the next step is the seer's turn. Then the seer needs to open his or her eyes and choose player to look up the identity of the player. But the seer must make sure only he or she knows which player is playing what role. And each round, the seer can only look up one player. And the next step is right after the elimination, each person gets a chance to speak his or her thoughts on who might be the werewolves. The next step is after each person has spoken, the group needs to vote a person out. And if it's a tie, then repeat from step 4 to step 5 until a person is voted out. Then the last step is so the round continues until all the werewolves are dead or the villagers are dead. If the villagers are dead, all are dead, the werewolves win. And if the werewolves are all dead, and the villagers win. So next, let's take a close look at the characters in the game. So like all the characters in the game are divided into two camps. So the first camp is werewolf camp. So all the werewolves are in the same camp, and their goal is to disguise themselves or disguise their identities and kill as many players as possible on the other camp. So disguise really means to werewolves can uh, pretend themselves to be a villager or a seer during gameplay. So basically, a werewolf can speak up and say, "I'm a villager" or "I'm a seer" to confuse the players on the other camp. So they must all when they want to when it's their turn to eliminate a player, they must all agree on which person they want to kill. So the next camp is the villager and seer camp. Each round, the villager can vote in order to eliminate werewolves, but they don't know anyone else's role. But so they need to make a voting decision based on everyone's statement. They could be misguided by the werewolf camp player. So seer can help villagers to eliminate werewolves, but only indirectly through their statements during the discussion session. So the seers must be very careful and don't expose their identity, because Siri is always on the top of werewolves camp list, because as rounds goes by, Siri will know who are the werewolves, and guide the villager to vote werewolves out. Next, why our group thinks it's helpful to create an application for the game. So the first reason is that this game could easily have a group of 15 to 20 people involved. And as the game goes on, and given there's a lot of player involved, the gameplay sometimes could be very hard to track. And the second reason is that those rules are hard to understand, and for new players, they are really frustrating. Just remember the rules, and with our application, those new players could get into game quickly and enjoy game with others. So next, uh, let's step through this how to set up game server. So to create a game server, uh, first thing we need to do is to open the project zip file, and in the zip file, go to the Android server directory, and in the directory, we need to open a terminal at the directory, and once you're in the terminal, uh, and issue Node.js node and app.js command. Then the server will start and listening at port 8000. So once we have the game server set up, then we're ready to run a game simulation. Just quickly before we go into the game simulation, I would like to mention 2 points. So the first point is that we actually developed two methods to start a game server. So the one I just showed is actually how to start a local game server. So if you want to start a remote server, you can go to the Android test subdirectory, which project code lives. And under the project test subdirectory, you can go to game configuration, and then um, you can start a remote server by uh, using this line of code. And if you want to start a remote server, you don't need to go to a terminal. You just launch the application and enter your name, and you will be connected to the remote server. And the second point is that once you unzip the project zip file, then you can see two subdirectories. So the first subdirectory is called Android server. So this where is the server code lives, and this is where you start a local server. And the second folder is called Android test. This is actually the project code, and you can start Android Studio and launch application from this folder. Yes, now let's start a game simulation.